Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After my book review episode, Christian Prince, who was apparently flustered, put out a challenge to me. Now, you guys know that Christian Prince thinks really highly of himself. His fan base oddly believes that he's invincible. So in this video, I'm going out of my way to accept that challenge in order to demonstrate to you, the viewer, how deceptive and incompetent he really is. Let's watch what he has to say.
I want to teach you something maybe you never heard before because you are just a kid, like the rest of them. Chapter 113, verse number 3 is about the penis of your prophet. And I have this in my book. And I challenge any Muslim to say this is not true.
Now, do you really think for a second that I would not be accepting a challenge like this? I challenge you to respond to my 107 accusations. Are you going to meet that challenge?
I want the Muslims to make 1,000 videos to get me busted.
1,000 videos are not necessary to show your deceptive nature. One will be more than enough.
And he might be Christian Prince saying that the chapter 113, verse number 3 is about the penis of your prophet. The penis when it's standing.
This is an issue with inconsistency. In this video, CP is claiming that the verse is about the prophet's sexual organ. If we return to his book, we find this title instead. Guys, believe me when I say that CP is just a glorified keyboard warrior with no academic integrity.
Let us see this time. I'm just giving you more hint about my book because you are so cheap to buy it. Go buy it, man, so you can expose it.
Key in the forced fake laughter. Why should I pay $13 for your book when I can access it online for free? Allow me to deconstruct your arguments while only using the sources that you have provided. Christian Prince quotes 6 translations of the Quran. He claims that all of them are wrong and then provides his own translation. As you can see from the choice of words, he suffers from a truly limited vocabulary. A vocabulary not suitable for a religious text, but rather one that is more suitable for a middle school playground. Now let's carry on. He makes the claim that the word ghasiq, which means night, should be translated as male genitalia. He argues that this is the view of Ibn Abbas and provides sources for his claim. The first source is the exegesis of Ibn Atiyah, which we can see here. Now, does Ibn Atiyah claim that this is the view of Ibn Abbas? No. Ibn Atiyah says that Ibn Abbas, Mujahid, and Al-Hasan, all major commentators, held the view that ghasiq means night, and that's the part that's underlined in green. He then points out that Al-Naqash attributed to Ibn Abbas that ghasiq is referring to male genitalia. However, Ibn Atiyah does not endorse this claim. If we actually do some research, we'd come to the conclusion that Al-Naqash is someone that is accused of lying. There are also 3 centuries between Al-Naqash and Ibn Abbas, and therefore we cannot accept this as a valid attribution to him. The question that comes to mind is, why did Christian Prince argue that this is Ibn Abbas's opinion when the same page that he is quoting provides another opinion with a stronger attribution to Ibn Abbas? Well, obviously it's because Christian Prince is dishonest. He knows that you don't know Arabic, and frankly, he couldn't care less about being objective. Christian Prince then provides a second source, which he wrongfully refers to as Takhrij Ahadith Ulum al-Din. That is not the correct name of the book. It is actually called Takhrij Ahadith Ihya Ulum al-Din. Again, this merely shows Christian Prince's incompetence. Moreover, again, by returning to this work, we find that the author claims that it is well known that Ibn Abbas said that ghasiq is referring to the night. On the bottom of the page, we find that scholars like Ibn Tayyib, Al-Iraqi, and Subki all rejected this attribution to Ibn Abbas and the Prophet, peace be upon him. Again, why would Christian Prince be so deceptive with this attribution? It is because he couldn't care less about objectivity, and most of you watching this video don't know any Arabic. And those that do are gonna look it up. Now that we're done with these false attributions, we can move on to the context of the verse itself. Chapter 113 says, "Say I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak, from the evil of that which he created, from the evil of the darkness when it is intense." Observe the context. What is likelier? Is it to seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak from darkness? Or is it to seek refuge in the Lord of daybreak from male genitalia? Why does Christian Prince purposefully choose a misattributed interpretation for his translation? Again, he does not care about objectivity. He only cares about making Islam look as bad as possible. Anyways, no Muslim in the world would ever be affected by such silly arguments. The only person that may be affected is someone with the absolute worst opinion of Islam. Someone that sees Islam as beyond just barbaric and sexually driven. Someone that believes that the Quran is a book of sex and that 7th century Arabs only converted to Islam because the Quran was filled with sexual fantasies on every page. This could not be further away from the truth. But let's assume that they were all like that. Aren't contemporary Muslims aware of their Quran? Most Muslims, yes, even the ones that read Arabic, know what the Quran is saying. And these are civilized people that happen to live in the modern world. I mean, there's not a single Muslim in my society that is part of a terrorist organization. I personally don't know of any rapists either. Most Muslims I know that are married only have one wife. Many of them, myself included, are educated in the English language and consume media that is produced in the West. Many of them watch documentaries because they're educational and interesting. Many of them enjoy great works like Citizen Kane, The Godfather, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Many Muslims are God-fearing individuals that will smile in your face, give to charity, and help those that need it. And just like Christians, there are some bad apples. Bad apples that sell drugs, bad apples that knowingly bring harm to others, and bad apples with terrible taste and enjoy garbage like the Harry Potter series or Naruto. So, what am I trying to say? You may disagree with Islam, and you may believe that Islam is false. However, that doesn't mean that we are evil people, that believe that we were born to have orgasms. Most of us, believe it or not, believe that Islam is true, and we have our reasons for believing so. We do not believe that lying is a good thing. We believe that lying is bad. And instead of taking that knowledge from Christian Prince, someone who we should all agree by now is a liar and very ill-mannered, perhaps it should be best to ask a knowledgeable Muslim next time you're at the supermarket, or at a community fair, or at the hair salon. Why are you a Muslim? And maybe, just maybe, you can have a conversation that is more respectful, fair, and loving than you expected. A neighbor of mine recently attempted to invite me to studying their religion. It brought me great joy because I felt that they were reaching out to me and sharing what they perceived to be true with me. I did not perceive my neighbor as evil. Instead, I thanked them, met with their community, sat down and had lengthy, respectful discussions about their faith and mine. Our time in this world is very limited, and we shouldn't be wasting what little time we have on bigots that are trying to make a living by trash talking and degrading a fifth of the world's population. Now, this is not an invitation to accept Islam, by the way. This is an invitation to not hate Islam, because believe you me, we could do with a lot less hatred in this world. May the Lord shower you with His mercy and blessings and a good night to you all.